Chapter 1. Welcome to another story on our channel. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you never miss a new adventure. It was a big Saturday morning. The sun was up, birds were singing, but I was still in bed. My name is Jake. I am 12 years old. I like video games, pizza, and sleeping late, but today was not a normal Saturday. Jake, clean your room, my mom called from the kitchen. Oh no, I forgot. I said I would clean my room today. I looked around. It was a mess. My clothes were on the floor. My books were under the bed. My soccer ball was next to the window. Dust was on my desk. My dog Max was sleeping on a pile of socks. Yuck. I wanted to play games. I wanted to go outside, but my mom looked serious. She came to the door and crossed her arms. No games, no TV, no pizza, until that room is clean, she said. I looked at Max. He opened one eye and went back to sleep. I stood up. I stretched. I was not happy, but I had a plan. I would clean fast. Then I would have the rest of the day for fun. I started with my bed. I pulled the blanket. I fixed the pillows. I saw an old banana peel under the pillow. Gross. I threw it away. I laughed a little. How did that get there? Next, I picked up my clothes. I found one shoe under the desk and the other in the closet. My red socks were under my chair. I put the dirty clothes in the basket. I folded my clean shirts. My mom passed by the door and smiled. Good start, she said. I was feeling better. The room was looking nice. I found my favorite book, Space Cats, behind the bookshelf. I sat on the floor and opened it. Max jumped on my lap. For 5 minutes, I read about cats flying in space and chasing cheese planets. Then I remembered cleaning. I put the book on the shelf. I picked up the candy wrappers. I threw away 2 broken pencils, a sticky note that said test on Tuesday, and a rubber band ball. The trash bag was full now. My desk was the last thing. I looked at the dust. It was thick. I got a cloth and some spray. I wiped the desk. I cleaned my lamp. I cleaned my computer. I cleaned under the desk. There were crumbs, old crumbs. From what? I didn't know. Finally, I stood in the middle of the room. It looked good. It smelled good. My posters were straight. My clothes were away. Max was on his clean dog bed. I smiled. My mom came in. Her eyes were big. Jake, this is amazing. I felt proud. I did it. I cleaned my room. I could play now. But then I looked at the bookshelf. Maybe I could make it better. Maybe I could move my books. Maybe I could make a reading corner. Something inside me changed. Cleaning was not so bad. It felt good. My room was my space, and now it looked awesome. And so my cleaning adventure was just beginning. Chapter 2. The next day was Sunday. I woke up early. My room was clean. The sun came in through the window. My posters looked bright. My bed was neat. Max was already awake. He wagged his tail. I sat up and looked around. It felt nice. It felt fresh. I didn't trip over anything. I didn't step on a toy. For the first time, my room felt big. I smiled. Then I saw the bookshelf again. I want a reading corner, I said. I stood up and looked at the bookshelf. It was old. The books were in no order. Some were upside down. Others were dusty. I pulled them out one by one. Max tried to help. He grabbed a book and ran. It was Super Ninja Dogs. I laughed and took it back. I put the books in piles, space books, dog books, school books, and comics. I wiped the shelf. I put the books back, neat and clean. It looked nice. I felt happy. But I wasn't done. I moved my chair to the window. I got a pillow from the couch. I placed it on the chair. I added a small blanket. I made a sign, Jake's reading spot. I taped it to the wall. Now I had a corner just for reading. Then I had an idea. What if I had a plant? Or lights? Or something cool? I went to the kitchen. Mom, can I have a plant for my room? She looked surprised. A plant? You want to take care of it? Yes, I said. I want my room to be fresh. She smiled. Okay, we can go to the store. At the store, I picked a small green plant. It was in a blue pot. The name was Lucky Leaf. The lady said it was easy to care for. I was excited. We also got a string of small lights. Back home, I placed the plant on my desk. I hung the lights around the window. I turned them on. The room glowed. It felt magical. I sat in my chair with Max. I opened a book. It was about dragons and caves. I read for 20 minutes, maybe more. My mom looked in. She didn't say a word. She just smiled. Later that day, I played my favorite game, but it felt different. I didn't rush. I didn't feel messy. My room was calm. I could find everything. My desk was clean. My floor was clear. At night, I looked around again. My clothes were in the closet. Books were in order. My plant looked happy. My lights were on. Max was sleeping on his bed. Good night, room, I said. And then Something funny happened. I started thinking about the rest of the house. The hallway had old shoes. The living room had old magazines. The kitchen had a junk drawer. I had a new thought. Maybe I can clean more. Chapter 3. Monday came fast. I woke up before my alarm. My room was still clean. My plant looked green. The lights were off, but the sun was bright. Max stretched and barked softly. I smiled. I got dressed and brushed my teeth. I made my bed. I folded my pajamas. I felt proud. I felt ready. At breakfast, my mom looked at me. "You're up early," she said. "I want to clean the hallway today," I said. She almost dropped her spoon. "Really?" "Yes. It's messy. There are shoes everywhere." She laughed. "Okay, go for it." After school, I put down my backpack and started. I picked up 4 shoes. None of them were mine. I found 1 flip-flop, 1 boot, and 2 sneakers. I made a pile. I wiped the floor. I moved a box. It was full of old toys. I opened it. There was a robot, a yo-yo, and a green truck. I looked at the robot. It was cool, but I was too big for it now. I took the box to the living room. "Mom, can we give this away?" She looked at the box. "Yes, that's a great idea." That night we made 3 boxes: keep, give away, and trash. We worked together. It was fun. We talked, we laughed. I found my baby shoes. They were so small. Max barked at them. Tuesday, I cleaned the kitchen drawer. It had pens, paper, rubber bands, keys, and a spoon. I sorted everything. I used old cups to hold small things. Now the drawer opened and closed easily. Wednesday, I cleaned the living room. I folded blankets. I picked up magazines. I even vacuumed. Max chased the vacuum, then ran away. I laughed so hard I had to sit down. Thursday, my dad came home from a trip. He saw the house. "Wow," he said. "What happened here?" "Jake happened," my mom said. I felt proud again. My room was clean. My hallway was clean. The kitchen drawer, the living room, everything was better. And it all started with one messy room. Friday at dinner, my mom said, "You've changed a lot this week." I nodded. Cleaning is not just work. It helps me think. It helps me feel good. She smiled. "That's true." Then she said, "Tomorrow, the garage?" I froze. The garage was huge. It was full of boxes, tools, bikes, and spiderwebs. I looked at Max. He looked at me. I took a deep breath. "Let's do it," I said, and we all laughed. That night, I sat in my reading chair. My lights were on. My plant was green. My room was quiet. I read one more chapter of Space Cats. Max snored softly. I smiled. Cleaning my room changed my week. Cleaning my room changed me. And this was just the beginning.